I see a lot of people making mistakes on this, so it would be very much good for you to listen just a little bit. Oh boy. Here's an example problem here. I don't know if I like the way that looks. Dan wanted to buy a book for $6.89. Dan wants a book for $6.89. Now, unfortunately, children, if you see a book in the store for $6.89 and you just bring $6.89 with you, you're not going to be able to buy the book because we have the thing that the only sure things somebody said were death and taxes. And there is tax on this. There is a 8% tax on that, which means what? Well, that means, we've talked tax before?
Yes.
That means 8 cents. 8 out of every 100 cents is going to be, you have to add 8 cents. For every 100 cents you buy, you have to add 8 cents for it. Now, please remember this. I just had the same exact discussion with 7th grader. Anytime you are trying to figure out tax, or tip, or interest, you always, people get this confused, you always are going to multiply. It's always a multiplication problem. Okay, because usually they deal with percentages, and you always want to find the percentage of. And the word of means to multiply. For example, I've got my $6.89. I need to find out what 8% of that is. Okay. Now please understand this. That doesn't mean I multiply by 8. Because if I multiply by 8, I'm going to get it like a $49 tax bill. Which $49 in tax on a $7 purchase seems a bit excessive, doesn't it? Okay. You have to remember that this is a percent. We need to multiply by a decimal. Or 8% means 8 out of 100 or 8 hundredths. So I need to multiply by 8 hundredths. Okay, that's what 8% is 8 hundredths. Have we changed percents to decimals? Okay, so that shouldn't be completed. Now, here's where it gets a little crazy. Please work with me, follow with me here. I do this multiplication, here's where we run into a problem. 8 times 9 is 72, 8 times 8 is 64, plus 7 is what? 71? Is that right? 8 times 6 is 48, 48 plus 7 is 55. Now where is my decimal point going to go based on my multiplication of decimals algorithm? Where does the decimal go? How many decimal places are here? How many are there for a grand total of?
4.
So I go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now when we talk money, children, I've got 0.5512. In money, we only split $1. The smallest thing we split $1 into is pennies, which are 1/100 of $1. So we only have 2 decimals after, or 2 places after the decimal that we figure out money to. Okay, because we don't have, this is 1,000th of $1. We don't have 1,000th of $1, nor do we have a 10,000th of $1. So what has to happen here is you look at this and you go, okay, my 2 choices when I do this problem is either I'm going to pay 55 cents in tax or I'm going to pay 56 cents in tax. Those are your only 2 choices because it's either going to stay 55 or it's going to round up. And just like all other rounding, you look at the next digit, which happens to be this 1. If that is 4 or less, it stays the same. If it's 5 or greater, you're going to round up. So it stays 55 cents. That is how much your tax is, which I guess is not unreasonable, but it is something. Now, if they asked you how much the book cost you, then you have to add your tax back onto what the bill was. $6.89 plus 55 cents is going to give you $7.44, I hope.
Yes.
Okay. Do we talk like if you're buying a car, how much tax it would be?
No, I didn't. Yeah, I thought.
How about, well, and then there's just regular rounding. Let's say I got this number, 17.3852. And I said, here's a couple different things they might tell you. Round to the nearest hundredth. Round to the nearest hundredth place. Okay. What digit is in the hundredths place? Alex?
The 8.
The 8. So the choice is this. If I'm rounding that to the nearest hundredth place, either it's going to be 17.38 or it's going to be 17.39. What tells you? It's this digit after what you're rounding that tells you. You don't have to worry about anything else over here. I could have a million numbers over here. They're not going to matter. This is the only one that matters. Since it's 5 or bigger, I round up to 39. Now, here is an important thing I need for you all to understand. If you're rounding to the hundredths place, you will put no digits after the hundredths place. You don't put zeros in here. Okay, not like normal rounding where you round like 750 to the nearest 100 is 800. You change the whatever to 0. These don't get, you completely remove these after you round. For the simple reason is, while this and this really stand for the same thing, you say them differently. This is 17 and 3,910 thousandths. This is 17 and 39 hundredths. Did I get that right? Tenths, hundredths, thousandths. Okay. So if you're rounding to the nearest hundredth, you stop at the hundredths place when you write your answer. You don't put zeros in for that. Leave off those unneeded zeros. Make sure you do that. That's probably one of the single biggest mistakes I see children make. Now, the other thing that might happen with this, let's do that same thing, 17.38526. Instead of saying to the nearest hundredths place, sometimes the book will say round to the second decimal place. And that really throws people for a big loop. But what you have to remember is it's pretty simple. The first digit after the decimal is the first decimal place. This is the second decimal place. This, believe it or not, is the third decimal place, and so on, and so on, and so on. Okay, so if it says round to the second decimal place, that is the exact same thing as rounding to the nearest hundred, just said a different way. Okay, in which case our answer is still the same, 17.39. Round this to the first decimal place would be, look, do you have a voice today? Is it really? Is it worse today or better? Is it worse? Is it really? I'm just asking. Logan?
Stay 17.
Well, it does say 17, but I'm rounding to the first decimal place, which means my choice is either going to be 17.3 or 17.4.
That's 17.4.
Yeah. Okay, first decimal place is this, so this tells you if it rounds up or stays the same. And it stays the same. 17.4. First decimal place is the tenths place, round to the nearest tenth. Let's see if we got something else there. Yeah, we'll look at page 270. What if it says round to the nearest whole number? The whole number means the units place or the ones place. This rounded to the nearest whole number would be, Sammy? 17. No decimal, no zero. Round to the nearest whole number is 17. Look at page 270, please. It'll be some time.